ResortLoop.com is proud to be sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Joffrey's now offers coffee subscriptions. You can order a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription. You can choose from 3 collections: the Flavored Coffee Collection, the Roastmasters Collection, or the Disney Signature Coffee Collection. Each collection includes 3 bags per month. With the Joffrey's Coffee subscriptions, never run out of great coffee again. Learn more and order at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The body of water that you see to the right of our forward motion is the Seven Seas Lagoon. The Seven Seas Lagoon is a man-made creation that took 3 years and the removal of millions of cubic yards of earth to complete.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. This is ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic. This is episode 765 of the podcast. Can you believe 765 of these things? And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and listening. Hope everybody's having a great holiday season, gearing up for Christmas. Hope Thanksgiving was safe for everybody. Hope everyone has a great Christmas season coming up. I know it'll be different for a lot of people as we go through what we're going through right now, but just remember it's Christmas time. Take care of each other. Just be nice. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about some recent news that on the previous show, Jeremy Hunt mentioned real quick, but I just wanted to talk about it a little bit more. The retirement of Joe Rohde. It's one of those announcements that when you hear it, it kind of hits you over the head. I thought he was going to be there forever. A lot of people, I think, thought he was just going to be there forever. But I wanted to take this time as we're going into the holiday season just to go over Joe Rohde's career and how much he's given to the Disney community. A fantastic artist, Imagineer. I will say I'm very jealous and inspired by anybody who is a fantastic artist, whether it's singing, painting. But Joe Rohde has so much talent, so much, such an eye for detail that a lot of people don't see until they actually see it created. I mean, walking through the animal kingdom, walking through Disney in general, when you see all those little details, and sometimes it takes you a few trips before you notice some of those Disney details. One thing I've always enjoyed about watching or listening to Joe Rohde is his passion. He has such passion for art and his design that he can sell you his ideas and make you understand how passionate it is to him and make you feel that same passion. If you've ever heard him speak about Disney's Animal Kingdom, about Alani, about when Pandora opened up, he would sell it, and I bought into everything he said. I don't mean like he's trying to pull one over on us. That truly, he's telling us his thoughts on everything and how he created it, and then I become just as passionate as he was to hear about all the excitement he had in his voice and his vision for everything he has designed.
I think there's a very close relationship between a lot of the values that are Disney values and a lot of Hawaiian cultural values that we've tried to embrace here at Aulani. It's very Hawaiian. First of all, people fly all this distance to get to Hawaii. They want it to be Hawaii. And Hawaii is more than the beautiful beaches and the palm trees and the weather. Hawaii is this culture of these people that made it this way. And that culture revolves around family, revolves around storytelling, revolves around a sense of magic in the environment that it's easy for us to embrace, and it's a culture of very, very high standards. And all of those things fuse very well with us Disney. So it was kind of easy for us to form a kind of marriage between the two cultures and to present a place where when people come here, when they get to Aulani, they will know they are in Hawaii. This is a great place to slow down. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to see, much, much more than you might be aware of at first. And the way to see that, and the way to be in Hawaii, is to slow down and let yourself relax and open your eyes and really absorb what's around you. It's a really rich environment, and it's well worth spending the time and attention to appreciate it.
One thing I'm going to go over, we're going to talk about just real quick, or as quick as we can. I want to make sure we get into this thoroughly. His retirement announcement that he posted was 425 words long. Wasn't long, but there's a lot of great detail and a lot of things in here. I want to talk about it real quick. Joe said, "I'm sure by now many of you have come across the news that I am retiring from Walt Disney Imagineering. It has been 40 years since I stepped foot in the door at age 25, not knowing anything about theme parks or Disney, or what it meant to work for a big company. I will say, 25, you are so young at 25. Sometimes you think you know it. You think you know everything. You really don't know what you don't know. But he was like a sponge. I can't believe it's been 40 years since he's worked there. So he's worked there long enough that he can retire, and I don't think we can fault him for that. But he didn't know anything about theme parks, but he was a good artist and was willing to learn. So I think that's something that everybody can take away, especially if you're a younger person. I think that's just something you might just want to keep in mind. Sometimes it's about the passion also, not just what you do know, and to know what you don't know. He goes, every day of my life since then has been a learning experience. I'm very glad to have had that opportunity and proud of the work that has been done, not just by me, but by my fellow Imagineers, and especially those who have worked by my side over the decades. Here's what I love about this statement right here. He doesn't talk at any point about people working for him or anybody working under him. He said, my fellow Imagineers and those who work by his side. So I think that tells you a lot about his character, his personality, that he enjoys working with people. He doesn't actually consider, I'm above anybody else and you will do as I say. He said, but 40 years is a long time. And this strange, quiet time, COVID, I'm sure is what he's talking about, seems like a great opportunity to slip away without too much disruption. If I wait, I will once again be in the middle of another huge project. And by the time that is done, I would be truly old. Joe, I don't think you'll ever be old, by the way. If you ever listen to this, Joe, I don't think you'll be old. My speculation is he's talking about the big Lighthouse Point project for Disney Cruise Line, the new private island. Because that, from what I've kind of heard when this was announced, is that's going to be a massive kind of like Aulani depth of theming, Animal Kingdom type depth. And then they were talking about, who knows if this could have been a rumor, putting maybe a DVC property on the island or on their beach there as well. So just something to, I thought that was very interesting to note. Joe goes on to say, I'm not that old yet, and there are still things I want to do that cannot be done here. We encourage a culture of storytellers, not just amongst ourselves, but among our guests and our fans. And because of this, there's a strong temptation to take this moment and turn it into a story. He says, but what story? I think it's a coming-of-age story. I started at Disney as a child, going back when he's talking about being 25, and I learned almost all of my life lessons there, developed my confidence, recognized my skills and weaknesses, and went on to work with both and do what could be done. Again, I love the fact that he said skills and weaknesses. So he doesn't put himself above everybody else. And sometimes the best thing you can do is understand what your own strengths and weaknesses are. Just as I could stay forever, but that is like remaining in another kind of womb. I want to see what a grown man might be able to do on his own. This site here is not really for Disney, it's for us. I imagine that there are many of you who will be sad that I will no longer be a daily part of the Disney company. So true. And there will be some of you who will drift away and no longer follow my ruminations because they feel they aren't relevant. But I will still be here. And I will still be thinking about things and doing things and talking about things. Because that's kind of what I do. I mentioned in my departure note that I will mention it here again, the tremendous debt I owe to our guests and our fans who have been so generous. Working in as an Imagineer has made me a good designer, but it is all of you who have made me a better person. Those last couple sentences just scream character to me. I mean, he's so talented, such a great artist, realizes the breadth of work that he has done and how it has touched people, and how the people that have enjoyed it have actually touched him. So I think we can all take a little something away from Mr. Joe Rohde. My speculation is it's going to be like a little bit like Tony Baxter. He kind of retired from Disney Imagineering, but they kind of bring him back a lot, and I think he hangs out there on occasion. So whenever there's a project, I think they might run things by him. I can see Joe Rohde kind of doing the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see him at maybe some like D23 type events, or even on occasion if he wants to go back and visit some of his creations, going through some of the Disney parks. Maybe he'll hang out at Aulani. Oh, who won't hang out at Aulani if given the chance? But some of the things that Joe Rohde has created in his time as a Disney Imagineer, these are just some of the big ones. In 1998, the Animal Kingdom, Expedition Everest. Can you believe that came out in 2006? It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, because you recall when Expedition Everest opened, that was the attraction where people realized that the queue can play a major part in the theming of an attraction. At that point, I'm not sure there was any queue quite as detailed. Possibly, I would say Hollywood Tower of Terror. That's a good queue also. But okay, Aulani, 2011. Pandora, the World of Avatar, in May of 2017 already. That same month, I didn't realize this until I went back and did a little bit of research. In May of 2017, the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout out there at Disney's California Adventure. Now we're going to go back to some old school Rohde stuff here. The Adventurers Club at Pleasure Island. Let's not forget Captain EO He actually worked on Captain EO. That's fantastic. As well as the Norway Pavilion, New Fantasyland, and one of his first projects as a Disney Imagineer was the Mexico Pavilion. I guess he did a lot of rock work and design work on the Mexico Pavilion. So, and I also wrote down in my note here, Lighthouse Point, which hasn't actually, of course, opened yet. But I'm guessing some of the preliminary work was done, and he probably has some thoughts on what he would like to do with that. But my guess is it would just be so involved, and I'm guessing he mentioned it earlier in his statement that he didn't want to get involved in another huge project. I think that's exactly what Lighthouse Point is going to be. So, with 3 new ships coming online, hopefully still, they're going to need that additional island as a destination, and I would not be surprised. It's kind of been leaning that way for a long time. That I think cruisers are more interested in the cruise line's private islands than actually other ports. So that is my thoughts on that. Over at Looper Nation Live, I'm going to put a poll up. I want to know what your favorite Joe Rohde designed attraction, resort, or theme park. I also want to mention, I don't know if anybody has been aware of this, I just saw it semi-recently myself, that Joe Rohde is selling off some of his private collection and artwork over at eBay. So if you go over to eBay, and I believe his site there is called Rohde Garage Sale, all one word, you can find some of the items from his private collection that he's kind of thinning out, I guess, since he's retiring. He's getting rid of some of his things. And I don't like to call them odd, but I will say it's things that's absolutely Joe Rohde or Animal Kingdom inspired. He is selling artwork that looks like Joe Rohde. You can tell by looking at this. This is either picked out by Joe Rohde, created by Joe Rohde. He has a Mongolian shortbread mold. This is from his private collection. It's woodwork kitchenware. That's on sale over there. There's a few days left by the time you see this, so I would check that over there. I'll put a link to this page over in the show notes and over on ResortLoop.com. He also has a Tibetan purba from his private collection. Looks like it's a Buddhist ritual dagger. Who doesn't need a good dagger? But, I mean, these things are just beautiful. The detail in these are fantastic. So once again, check out Joe Rohde's eBay store over there where he's getting rid of personal things. And I'm guessing, there's only 4 or 5 things that are listed now, but I'm guessing as things go on, he's going to be adding from his collection up there. So maybe we can get something from Joe Rohde. How fantastic would that be? I also want to say that I hope Joe Rohde is going to write some kind of autobiography because I would love to hear his story about how he joined the Walt Disney Company, created the Animal Kingdom, created the world of Avatar, Alani, about all the decisions that had to go into everything and what drove him as far as an artist. I don't know if you recall, a few years ago, he was actually traveling, I want to say it was Africa. Do I have it on my notes here? Yeah, Joe actually went to Mongolia, where he was doing paintings there that he was raising money. He was selling to raise money for the conservation of the snow leopard. So very important work. Joe is very in touch with nature and really wants to help out the planet and everybody. So, again, I just want to give my thanks to Joe Rohde. Before I end the show, I just want to thank a couple longtime supporters of the show. I haven't mentioned it for a while on the show, but I'm going to start mentioning it again. I'm sure everybody knows with COVID, it's been a horrible year for travel businesses and anybody in that whole realm of travel. However, longtime supporters of the show over at our Patreon page, Sheila Ginsburg, Sheila, and Ken Cabot, and I'll mention others in future shows. But if you'd like to help out ResortLoop.com, you'd have my undying gratitude if you take a look at it. You can find it at ResortLoop.com/support or over at the website ResortLoop.com. We have 3 different tiers over there. We have monorail bronze, silver, and gold. Each one has a little different perks, if you will. We'll be posting other things over there, and we're hoping to get some funds up because I'm hoping for Looper meets next year. So hopefully we can get some support going. Ideally, in the next few months, I'd like to get a couple new pieces of equipment, make recording the show a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. Maybe go with some services rather than doing things myself. Maybe add some automations to the show. Also, if you'd like to support the show, not just monetarily, if you'd like to contribute to the show in some way, whether it be blog writing, editing, guest hosting, anything like that, anything behind the scenes, just give me a little email over there at tim@resortloop.com. Like I said, the show's going to go on. We're going to be great, but we're going to need some support. So if you'd like to help out, you can find that at resortloop.com/support. And I'd love to hear from you because the more support we get, the more stuff we can do. So looking forward to that. Everybody, thank you so much. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at tim@resortloop.com. You've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, the website, resortloop.com. If you're looking to book a trip for 2021, you can also check us out over there at resortlooptravel.com. Everybody, you've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. Did I already say that? See you, everybody. Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.